live. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if any of this part is recorded or not.
There we go.
So now it is, but like I like to do the funny animations, and I can never time it right to our actual intro. So people like either see me just putting my hands down,
timing,
or they just nothing special. So hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to episode number 22 of the Link Cable Gaming Podcast.
Vendos.
That's
22.
Vas? In what language?
It's 22 in French, which is 22. So welcome to the Link Cable Gaming Podcast.
We're very trilingual.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll try to do the show in 3 languages. Look forward to that as we struggle through.
Ich habe mein Deutsch vergessen.
Nous allons parler français des fois pour faire l'épisode un peu plus écoutable pour nos amis divers, merci pour nos amis bilingues. All right.
Yeah, ich weiß nicht.
Alex is actually killing it on the podcast today for that one. Beautiful.
I can do an accent in French. I can pretend I am a Frenchman in America looking for pretty French woman. Yeah.
Where's the wife?
I get this, Galgo. Yes.
I would like to see what your country has to offer.
Oh God!
All right. Enough of the crazy made-up languages. So we'll stick to English for the rest of it.
I'm not even very good at English.
So I'm your host, Alex, as always, and I'm joined by Zahi and Kevin today. Hey guys.
Hello everyone.
So Zahi, you hurt your back, man.
We're working today with a back injury, so if anyone's judging judging what I'm wearing right now, I can't get off the couch to go change, so it is what it is right now. That's the dangers of adult life pizza, people. Never do it.
You're a real trooper for powering through our podcast with debilitating injuries. Thank you so much for sticking around.
I do what I can.
So we got a big show this week. There's actually, like, last week there was almost, I don't want to say nothing, but there was not a lot to talk about. This week we actually had to cut some topics because there was so much to talk about. So we're going to be talking about Crucible being canceled. I think Kevin, you've played Crucible, so you got some thoughts there.
Yeah, Crucible sucks. There's your hint.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. It was canceled for a good reason. Shit sucks.
We're going to talk about
out of the way.
We're going to talk about the PS5 user
that
interface.
Noise.
I'm powering through. We're going to talk about the PS5 user interface. So Sony finally showed us what it's going to be like to actually use a PlayStation 5. And then Microsoft announced the official Series XS lineup. So we're going to give our thoughts on that and go over if there's any standouts or whether or not we think it's a good lineup. Spoilers, I think it's pretty okay. So
pretty shitty.
We'll talk about that later. I don't want, because I'm ready to give opinions on it.
Yeah, you were
ready
to pounce.
Too. This podcast is going.
Look, the feedback I keep getting is we have the structure show. So structure.
We're just here to create chaos.
It's
and you're the dad trying to hold it down.
So before we get into all of that good stuff, let's go over and talk about our games of the week. And I'm actually I want to go first this week. I don't always go first, but I'd like to be the first one to go this week because I don't actually have a whole lot to talk about games I've played. Mostly because I played a bit of Iron Harvest, I played a bit of Smash Brothers, but I haven't tried Steve yet. I'm saving that to do on live stream with you guys.
Ooh.
So
you haven't?
I'd like to. No, I haven't tried Steve yet. I'm avoiding trying Steve because I want my first reactions to be filmed, and I haven't had a chance to set that up yet. So it's coming. But what I wanted to go over this week is I just want to give a shout out to Sega. Because Sega, it's their 60th anniversary. Sega. And so it's their 60th anniversary right now. And they're having a big sale and a big promotion over on Steam. And this kind of caught me off guard. I didn't realize how big of a promotion and sale they were having. So they were giving away, I think they have 5 free games on there. 4 of them are brand new. They never came out before, and they're only available for like one of them stops being available today. It's a 1-day thing. You download it today, and if you don't download it, you'll never get to play it. Wow. So they've got a bunch of free games. They're all like kind of like little mini spin-offs of like big Sega games. And one of them is really cool. And well, I mean, they all kind of look cool, but I wanted to shout out, I think it's called Golden Axed, which is a prototype version of a game that never came out. So it actually looks like really cool. Like it's a prototype of a game that never released. Golden Axe is pretty fun if you're into like old school arcade style games. So yeah, they're having this huge sale, and I'm just like, I'm on the Steam page and I'm like flipping through what they got. I'm like, oh, I already have that, or that one is like, I'm not super interested. And then I see Company of Heroes 2 Remaster Collection. So every like bit of DLC that game got, everything for it, they want $10 for it. The bundle, like on Steam, it tells you like how much it's off. It's 95% off. It's $110 worth of things normally, and they're like, yeah, $10.
Oh my god!
I don't know if anyone else has ever, like, if you guys have played Company of Heroes, but it's a really good RTS. Like I just said, like I was playing Iron Harvest. Like Company of Heroes is what Iron Harvest was kind of like based off of. So like I was like, I couldn't have hit that download button faster. I was so excited. So I got it downloaded. I haven't played it yet, but I was just like super excited because I love the first Company of Heroes. I haven't played Company of Heroes 2. So I got that all set up. I just want, that's my gaming highlight of the week is head over to Steam. It's like, this is not a paid promotion. Like this is really cool that what Sega's doing. They got a bunch of free games. I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is free all week.
It is.
Which I mean, I have like 18 I think copies of Sonic 2 somewhere, so I'm not downloading that one, but like there's a bunch of stuff. There's like free DLC for 2 Point Hospital. I think you played that, Zahi. For you at least reviewed
Love
it.
2 Point Hospital. Actually, you can. I did. I gave it a pretty good positive review.
Yeah.
It was filled with a lot of humor. Lots of good laughs. If you want to check that review out, it is on our website. Plug.
Yeah, plug. Shameless plug. But yeah, it's got free DLC over on Steam right now. Like it's got like, it's a really good sale and just a good event, and I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere, so that's why I wanted to be like, hey guys, pay attention to Sega, like putting stuff out. I think a bunch of the Yakuza games are on sale too, which is those are really good. So.
I actually saw an ad for the Yakuza games on sale on Steam, and I was wondering why they're going crazy right now. Didn't make the connection.
Yeah, it's Sega's 60th anniversary, so. Yeah, that's my gaming highlight. I haven't had a chance to play any of these games, so maybe they suck. Yeah, that's my gaming highlight. Company of Heroes 2 at like 95% off. I was like, that's a stupid deal. Like I'm jumping on that so fast. So yeah, that's my gaming highlight of the week. Not much to report, but go spend some cash on Steam, or just download free games.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to do it right now because I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, yeah. We'll just.
Can I? Yeah, can I just make a quick highlight? Can you believe Sega, of all things, is having a 60-year anniversary? That just seems crazy to me. Like, I don't know. Like I'd think maybe a 30-year anniversary, 25, 40 if it came out like in 81. But my God, 60 years that company has been around. How incredible.
Do you know how old, like, not to take away from Sega being 60, but do you know how old Nintendo is?
Yes. Nintendo, I do actually. You told me we had this conversation in one of our earliest podcasts, which I was shocked to hear the history of it. Yeah.
How many years is it? Like
they're what, like
15, something like
that? Yeah, like 112.
130.
Crap.
Wow, even more.
Yep, they're 100 years older than me.
Alex, please.
That's how I remember my age. Is I'm like, how old is Nintendo? Oh yeah, like, then minus 100.
Oh yeah, minus 100.
Wow, that's
buddy, that's
crazy.
too good.
I went to go.
Nintendo didn't start off.
I went to go buy Company Heroes 2. I already own it.
Oh,
So never mind.
Hilarious.
but this is the Master Collect. Like this has every bit of DLC to it.
I
Yeah.
think I have. I click on it.
They'll
it
let
says
you buy
already
the
in
other things
library.
like.
I must have bought the whole collection before.
Oh my god.
It's a very good game. It is a very, very good game.
Valkyrie 4 Chronicles. I always see that game, but I don't know anything about it.
Ooh, that's also a good game. I've got the tank behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's
Oh,
like
really?
Right there.
Oh,
Cannot.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's $16. The game always looks good.
That's
our,
one thing I
I
could
don't
see
know
for
anything
today.
about it.
That's our show and tell. I can't read. Like I'm not gonna like reach over and grab it, but like Valkyria Chronicles. The Valkyria Chronicles series is a really good series of games.
I haven't been on Steam
Cool.
in a while. There's a
Cool.
lot going on here. Don't encourage me to buy anything.
There's a
else.
lot going on Steam right now.
I don't need to buy anything. I'm gonna shut this quickly.
Evan, what's your game of the week, or do you want me to go?
I'll go. Mine's pretty easy, and I have a short story tied to it. So,
Ooh.
So this has been hopefully my last busy week. I've had weddings, my birthday's in a couple days.
yeah.
So this past weekend I had a birthday party it was like a combo with my one friend and myself. So I did that this weekend, and then I helped him put speakers in. So I've been just busy. Well, I finally finished Kingdoms of Amalur, and I got like
You
almost 80 hours in this game. And
Wow.
I found out
Wow.
why it took me so long, and I didn't realize that the DLC is kind of hidden into the main story. So I kept trying to just pass side quests and just like skip them because I'm like, I just need to finish this game. But the main quest, because it shows you in your journal, it says like main quest, side quest, and task. Well, the main quest, all the DLC gets put in there, but they don't tell you this is extra. So I went and did all of the DLC first because I thought that was the main campaign, and they're big chunks of game.
No
It's not
way.
just like little bits of gameplay you go through. You literally go to an entire different world with an entirely different set of side quests, weapons, vendors, missions, and I did both of them, which I had no idea that they were part of DLC. I thought they were the main story because it was labeled that way. So that added another 30-some hours, I think, because they were both pretty meaty. But
Lord.
yeah, I
Wow.
just finished that this afternoon, actually. So it feels good to see the credit screen.
Congratulations.
Game.
Wow.
And
I like
Will
that
there
you
be a
started
review
that.
soon?
what's that?
Will there be a review soon?
Yes, this will be very soon now. And I'm actually super excited for the new DLC because I really enjoyed this game. This wasn't like a painful
Nice.
80 hours. It was like I really stupid. I didn't know that this was the DLC kind of 80 hours, but I still had a lot of fun. And the new DLC I think is coming in the beginning of next year, Q1-ish. So yeah.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
January they said.
Yep,
I like
I'm
that you
just
started.
assuming it's delaying itself because that's how the world goes.
Right. I like that you started Kingdoms of Amalur like months after me, and you finished it before. Like
It's a big
that's
game.
pretty fucking
Even
big.
just the actual, now that I know what the main storyline is part of, there's a lot to it. And I just like, at a certain point, I just kind of like, okay, don't look at side quests. Don't try to do this. Just push through. And it's pretty good. I want to redo my build because you can like respec everything because I did it all the finesse, like archer and dagger, or I use, not daggers. Daggers are one of the options I have with finesse. It's that and the Fey Blades. So
Blades, yeah.
I did that build, but I use bow and arrow.
What are
most of it.
Feyblades?
They're like the demon hunter weapons, like the long blades that are kind of like double-sided.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
it
you
was
were
fun.
talking last time about when you were talking about Kingdoms of Amalur last time. You were saying you were doing the bow and archer kind of build.
Yep.
How did you like it?
I actually liked it a lot. The bow can be pretty powerful. So I actually, in one of the DLCs, which I think is the newest DLC, there's a vendor for weapons that are better than the weapons you're going to get in the regular game because it's supposed to be for after. And I went and got a bunch of gold from side quests to buy them, and I kept wondering why I was never replacing my weapon the whole game. So it ended up working out because I had one of the better weapons in the game you could get from the vendors at least, and it helped me kind of push through the rest of the game. But it's just there's so many side quests. I ended the game with I didn't even explore everything completely. I still had 62 side quests that I haven't gone through, and I'm like,
Holy shit.
Wow.
and I'm a side quest like addict where it's like I don't like to leave any unturned and not finished in any game I play. So it killed me a little bit to get through there with that many not done. And I'm just like, I need to play something else. I've been playing this game for so long. I haven't touched Avengers at all yet. I installed it and never even turned it on. And then
Wow.
the new
And you were
patch
like,
came
you were
out.
so hyped for Avengers too.
I know. I'm super hyped for it still, and I still haven't touched it. So I think that's what I'm going to try to play next. Or Last of Us 2, because my other friends are talking about it a lot, and I don't want to have any spoilers to this game. So
I if I could say about The Last of Us 2, man, fantastic. Playing it like all the way till the end. I think a lot of the criticism from it came from like just people not really going all the way through until the end, and it's a really jarring experience. Not in a bad way, just in like a I don't know. It's hard to say about Last of Us. It's a great game, but I don't feel good playing it. I'm like,
wow. Well, there's so many polarizing opinions in that game because, like, I know Steve that is on the website that you guys have probably read stuff from. He is obsessed with that game. So
beautiful, man. It's
he
beautiful.
keeps telling me just it's like he could go on and on and on and on about that game, how much he loves
I could.
it. And
I don't want to ruin anything for you.
yeah, and I'm gonna get there. But Jeff, who's been on this show a few times as a guest host, he just started playing it a couple weeks ago, so he's really deep into it, and he wants to talk about it so bad. I'm like, don't say anything, just wait.
I
will
want to
be
talk
there.
about it so badly. Like when you finish, I want to do nothing but talk
We
about
should
it.
just do a spoiler episode for it because I would like to talk about it and have we could get Steve
guys can
on
do that.
here and get all these people that want to talk about this because I would really like to do that. So yeah, that's
You
that's-
you
I
know
heard that
what?
The Last of Us 2.
Hmm?
I heard that it recently finished 8th on Link Cable Gaming's top 20 best PlayStation 4 games. And if you want to see the full list, you should check out linkcablegaming.com. I'm just gonna plug my shit all day.
I think ow. I think I will check out that list. Thank you. That actually seems like a good one.
it's funny
Eighth?
because
What a
I-
good pro tip.
Hold on. The Last of Us 2 got 8th?
Yes.
What?
yeah, I
Man,
saw
that
this
is
list.
tough.
I don't
Look
know
at the
if
games
I
that
agree
game-
with that. I did like your number one.
No, it is
in full
great.
agreeance.
It is a phenomenal game. But that must be some
It was-
competition.
The PlayStation 4, and not to like hijack your story, Kevin, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The PlayStation 4 is a very hard console to pick the best games of because it has so many. Like it is, like I did a top 20, and like I was like, man, I gotta cut some like 10 out of 10 games here. Like I gotta say like, there was one that I cut, and Jacob was really Monster Hunter World didn't make the list, and Jacob was so mad at me. He's like, I think Monster Hunter World is like better than Dreams, which I don't want to spoil the whole list, but Dreams was number 20. And I was like, yeah, but like, man, like this is a tough
You
list.
can
to
do
make.
it, Dreams.
Like this is a tough list to make.
I
So,
think that
It's funny. I was gonna ask you
you go for it
what
first.
game. What was one of the games you cut? And I'm like, ah, you answered it.
there was a few. But yeah, so check that out if you want. It's on the website right now. So
All right,
Hey,
so-
Kevin. Actually, just quick about Kingdoms of Amalur.
yeah.
Is that DLC included?
Wait,
hold on.
the
Is the DLC?
the DLC coming
Yeah,
out
the
later?
DLC is it. Yeah, was that part of the original game or
So
the
the
DLC you already
DLC
played? Is that
okay.
part of the original game? Or
Yep.
is it new?
There is new DLC coming, but that comes in January, roughly. We're thinking.
Wow.
But the DLC that I had played through was done probably like 2012, 2013 when the game was out. So this was like a collector's edition type deal where it had everything in it
Yeah.
up until
Correct.
anything that's going to be released. So now the new stuff's coming next year, and I'm very excited for that. Going back to the PS4 lists and stuff you have,
Ooh.
because I'm trying to figure out the next like game I'm going to try to sink time into. I'm trying to look at like all the games between like but through because we're at the end of the system's lives, okay, kind of finish up, but I have
Yeah.
so many more games that I want to play on the PS4 that I need to finish, I feel like, than the Xbox. And I don't know if it's just I
Shoot,
bought more
what's one
stuff
of
for
them?
PS4. Well, I'm looking, I have all these things that are unwrapped still. I've got like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I haven't touched at all. Last of Us,
Beautiful.
Avengers. I have like 3
Amazing.
Assassin's Creed games. I've got Far Cry 5, Far Cry 4 I'm in the middle of, Far Cry 5 that I haven't even started yet, and then They have the spin-offs of them. What's the one with the girls in Montana? Far Cry.
New Dawn.
New Dawn. I have that.
Cry?
I should do a live.
Oh yeah.
I should do a live call
You
where I just
reviewed
like
that
go
one,
down to my
Alex.
basement and see all the games that I still have to
I did
finish
review
because
New Dawn,
it's sad.
Yeah, I did review New Dawn. I wouldn't recommend playing it, but that's hey, if you want.
Well,
to
I already
go
bought
for
it, so I gotta. Oh, and then
Oh, well, yeah, there you
stupid. This is the last thing in my little part because this is nothing about what I played, but mostly what I bought. GameFly keeps having sales to like get rid of stuff and purge their games, getting ready for all their new stuff that comes in. So I keep getting used stuff from them, which is just putting me back behind further, and I'm never gonna get caught up in games. So yeah, that's it.
go. No.
There is one game that I bought that I'm really regretting I haven't just finished and really gotten into playing, and it would PlayStation was, and it's God of War.
Really?
I
That
like,
Right.
that should be drop everything and
I
play
know-
type of game.
man, I know everyone tells me it's like incredible. I want to play it, but for some crazy reason, it's just, oh boy, the only game I haven't gotten a chance to actually eat or play.
Wow.
Like I started it.
I haven't played it either.
Oh.
I'm right there with you. I have not played it either.
You interested in playing it?
Wait.
Yes, oh, absolutely.
Time out. You haven't played God of War?
No. I got my PlayStation 4 this year. I had an Xbox One.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You buy it and you play
Cut me
that
some slack. I've got
immediately.
the games to catch up on.
You could have used
got to
PlayStation
play
now.
Mac.
There's no excuses.
gotta
You could have
play
streamed it
Mac.
to your PC. There are no excuses. I cannot believe either of you have not played this
Ouch.
game. That's one of the best games in the last decade. That's not even like a.
Yeah. It won Link Cable's Game of the Year in 2018.
Dead.
And yet
I did not vote for it.
I want to go back in every episode and every game you've played since we started this podcast
add
and
that
just
in.
shame on you because all those games are not good enough.
That's a fact. God of
Everything.
War. Man, I'm with you on that one.
You've been playing
Oh, I have Mass Effect.
Xenoblade 6 times over again, and that game's crap. Go play God of War.
I've actually
Alright.
never gotten a chance to play Xenoblade, and I really want to try.
I
but it just
I really like that this conversation went from God of War to right to Xenoblade. I love that. That is perfect.
Ugh.
great conversation pieces.
I need real booze. What am I drinking? I can't even see. I got this cool little container to keep my drinks cold. I'm drinking I don't know if it's a zero or a regular. I think this is regular. I'm going full sugar. A Coke Orange Vanilla.
Still drinking those Coke Orange Vanillas?
Did I have that before?
I mean,
It did.
Oh wow, I don't even. Yeah, it was
I
just.
mean,
in
I'm
the fridge.
having a iced coffee from Canada's favorite brand.
Oh.
So
I have
I'm
the
having-
world's worst Tim Hortons next to my house. I love Tim Hortons, and the one that's next to me is miserable.
There's
Actually-
a Timmy's in Michigan.
They're all over the place, like everywhere.
Really?
Bro, we're like a minute
I
from
think-
the border. This
Yeah,
place
they're
is
like-
basically Canada.
all us Canadians that go shopping.
Half the
in
people I
States,
work
we got a
with are
taste of home.
Canadian. How many people drive
My
across the border
God.
every day to come to work at the company I work at?
You know what's really funny is you guys got tons of Tim Hortons, and I have never seen a Dunkin' Donuts in Canada. I know that
we only have a couple.
like,
I don't
Canadian-
think so.
Canadians always think that Dunkin' Donuts is like the equivalent to Tim Hortons, and it's really
Yeah,
not
that's
because like
isn't it?
there's not Dunkin' Donuts on every street corner in the
No.
States, but there are Tim Hortons on every street corner.
We don't have a lot of Dunkins here.
Yeah, pretty
There's like maybe 2 that I can think of within like 10, 15 minutes, but there's a lot of Tim Hortons here. There used
There
to be
are
one,
so many Tim Hortons.
There used to be one in the building I work at. So I work in used to work at the big Renaissance Center in downtown Detroit. I worked there for like 4 or 5 years.
Cool.
And there was a Tim Hortons there, and I used to go there and get coffee every day. But they got shut down because I think it was just health hazards or something, because they used to see people walking around barefoot, and there was a woman painting her nails one time, and a guy had a cigarette he was smoking while he was serving my coffee. And I was
What?
like, yep, I'm done here. I can't make this shit up.
I love that.
They got
That is
closed,
the
and I'm
only
wondering...
Dunkin' Donuts I go
when they
to.
closed, I was like, everyone's like, wonder why they closed. I'm like, oh, I know why. It was probably one of those weird things that I saw. The woman was back there. She was painting her toenails in the back, and she came out and took my order. She walked up barefoot, half toes painted, took my order, and then left.
Ugh.
I was like,
That's my kind of Dunkin' Donuts. Holy crap!
no,
yes.
this was Tim Hortons.
Like it's
This is a Tim's.
Ratchet.
This
This is a Tim's?
This was a Tim.
Yeah, it's a Timmy Ho Ho's.
Alex, imagine that in Canada.
Yeah,
Tim's
so
like that.
I mean, there's a Tim's near the Tim's closest to me. There's 4 within 30 minutes of walking. But the Tim's closest to me, I swear, is run exclusively by teenagers. Every time you go there, like they couldn't
Most
give
places
less of
are.
a crap about the customer service experience. And like, I just want a coffee. I want it in and out. I want a coffee. Just give it to me, and I will pay and leave. And like every single time, you get the most uncaring stuff. Like, I mean, at least they're wearing shoes. There's that.
The
But
positive.
I'm pretty sure there is no one over the age of 17 that works there.
wow.
Like, it's just children.
So some positive news.
There's so many Tim
chains.
Hortons.
We're getting our first Chick-fil-A over here, and I cannot wait. What do you mean? What was what? Excuse me. What was that?
I don't like Chick-fil-A.
What?
I don't like anything about Chick-fil-A. They
Why?
suck. Putting it out there.
What?
Putting it
Why?
out there. I have a lot of reasons.
You don't like chicken sandwiches?
I love chicken sandwiches.
You don't like their chicken sandwiches?
I don't like anything about them. They suck.
Wow, that's shameful. They make amazing food, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
So I just had my first ever Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that's okay.
because we just got it in Canada like 2 weeks ago.
We have
Yeah,
a
it's
few
not.
Popeyes.
It's not. I don't get the hype.
That one's okay.
I don't get the
I
hype
mean,
over the
okay,
chicken
it's
sandwich.
good, but Chick-fil-A's better because the Chick-fil-A sauce you can't get it anywhere else.
I really like KFC's chicken sandwich. It's
See,
real good.
I haven't been to a KFC
They
in
got
like
that
15
garlic
years.
butter on the chicken. Oh, they dip the chicken in garlic butter.
Oh my god, that sounds
And,
so
like,
delicious.
You can feel your heart just clogging. It's so good.
Well, okay, what's everyone's favorite fast food place? We might as well figure this out because this is really where we're going.
Oh, it's hard. I don't eat red meat anymore. I haven't for 2 years. So like, I want to say A&W, but I can't because I don't eat there anymore.
A&W.
Arby's.
Oh my gosh, that's
Arby's.
mine. That's mine.
What?
High five, bro.
Nobody else ever says Arby's. Arby's is so underrated.
Arby's, bro.
It's so underrated.
Arby's
French
is
fries-
extremely underrated.
It is so and
I'm
not only they have so many
blown
good
away. I've never
sandwiches
heard
that
of
are like real good deli sandwiches
Yeah.
that are there. Their roast beef in general
Real
is
good
good.
deli sandwiches.
They're-
man.
yeah, exactly. And their
It's so good.
their fries are way underrated.
So underrated. And the fries are fantastic.
Ah, my mouth
And
is watering
no one gets
thinking
how
of
good Arby's
Arby's.
fries are.
And you
I
know what's
just
their turnovers. If you
Alex.
guys have never had an Arby's turnover, their cherry turnovers are so good. They're really flaky and
Haven't.
delicious. Oh, they're good.
Oh, please, God, I'm hungry.
I just titled the episode "Fast Food." That's the name of this episode.
Perfect. I used to get when I used to work. I used to work for my family owns a movie theater. I used to work there for like 14 years, and there was an Arby's across
Cool.
the street. So I would go get a beef and cheddar, a cherry turnover, a large fry, a mozzarella stick with their sour cream ranch, which is incredible, and then
Oh,
I'd
my
get
Lord.
a Dr Pepper.
Mouth is watering.
Oh,
Jeez.
They're like I don't know what it was about
The
it all.
Dr. Pepper ruins it, but
Okay, well, shame on you. But their ranch is so creamy. It's like a thicker ranch where it's like almost like sour cream. It's so good with their cheese sticks. Oh,
It actually really is, man.
and they
Bro,
also have
Arby's
this.
is like
There's a
top-notch.
secret sauce they have. It's called
I
Bronco
don't-
Berry, and nobody ever gets this because it's like they're not popular. But it's like a spicy jelly almost. I don't know anything about this sauce, but you can dip your fries in it. I would dip my fry in it, then open up my beef and cheddar, put the fries in the beef and cheddar, and shut it, and put Arby's sauce.
I do that
and
with the
dip in-
Arby's sauce.
Oh, I know. I put the Arby's sauce on it too. It's so good. I haven't had Arby's.
I want to
in
know
so long.
Alex's.
Yeah,
I know. I'm gonna go.
I want Arby's.
so I don't eat. So I usually have
Red
supper
meat.
after the show, and like
Yeah.
this is infuriating me right now because I am starving, and you guys. are just
Oh,
talking
I'm
about that.
sorry, buddy.
Oh, it's all good. I'm like, all right, I gotta like go.
Oh, I'm
eat
hungry too
my
now.
food after this. My favorite fast food place, I guess, like these days, because like again, like I'm not ever going to eat a burger again. I don't think so. I'm going to say Mary Brown's.
I don't even know what that is.
That's impressive.
So that must be
It's
a
fried
Canadian
chicken.
It's like
They
Popeyes.
do chicken sandwiches like Popeyes or chicken.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
Mary
Yeah.
Brown's. Oh,
Yeah, it's good
there's
stuff.
one
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, try it out. They got. Actually,
Oh no,
they're
just
They're
kidding.
really
nope,
good.
nope. It's very close, but I can't cross the border to get it. It's in Windsor, but we're not
Ah.
legally allowed to go over there, so guess I'll never
No.
try
My
that.
my only
Yeah.
problem with Mary Brown's is they're a bit pricey.
Yeah,
I've
they're
been
not,
right
they're
over
not,
here. It's right by the Walmart in Windsor. I've been there. I guess I
They're
passed it.
so they do the chicken sandwich. They've been doing the chicken sandwich for years. So like maybe that's why the Popeyes one didn't really blow me away. But they can do it dipped in buffalo sauce, and oh my god, oh guys, if you guys are listening in, like go buy some Mary Brown's right now. It's very good. So,
Wow, this looks good. So you like
Yeah.
A&W though? That's something you did like though.
I like the matzo burger. I think the matzo burger is very good.
See,
An
like
underrated cheeseburger.
over here, like in the Metro Detroit area, like the A&Ws I knew of that haven't closed are in like the not good areas of Detroit you would never go
Oh.
to. So I've never really had. There was one A&W at the mall by my house a long time ago, and it was not very good from what I remember. I'd like to try like a
A&W
good
here
A&W.
A&W here, like I've always thought of it as like it's always been mall food. I don't think I've ever gone to an actual A&W. Oh no, that's not true. I've been to an A&W, but like it's always been like in a mall, right? And so it's kind of just part of like a mall shopping experience. They have the best onion rings. I love their onion rings.
W
So
onion
I
rings
love
are
good
phenomenal.
onion rings. Good onion rings are good. Got onion rings
All right,
So-
so we've talked about fast food a whole lot,
And not
we're a
my-
video game podcast.
and not my pick,
Let's.
my weekly.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Zahi, what's your thing for the week?
swear to God, it's gonna be
Just to get us
really.
back on track.
Oh boy, it's gonna be. Let's see if I can do this first. It's
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
need to just
really
Grubhub
fast.
some Arby's because you can't move. That's what you need right now.
Oh boy.
Arby's has a really good social media thing. Just like a side note.
As a fast food restaurant,
So,
Arby's prides itself
don't know
in
if you guys
serving
know,
the
but,
tastiest roast beef
Destiny
sandwiches
2
in America.
Beyond Light
But
is coming
unbeknownst
out.
to
I know I
most
brought it up
people,
before. On the new consoles coming. Apologies.
I like how we have
I can barely
sandwiches
move.
on our show now.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I had to plug in my charger. So Beyond Light is coming out next in a couple of weeks, in less than a month actually, right now. And there are a lot of things to do before a new expansion. I mean, a lot. So me and a new raid team are going through one of the challenges is to do all the raids before the new expansion comes out. And yesterday we did the Leviathan raid, which is the first raid in Destiny because it's getting removed. Destiny is removing 4 planets. Yeah, they're removing 4 planets out of the. Let's see. Yeah, almost half of the content that's coming in Beyond Light is being sunset, or it's being vaulted for another time. Basically, it's old content from like year 1 and 2 that they're not really using, and it's just taking up way too much space in the Destiny cloud server hub space. And it's, so when Beyond, when Beyond Light launches, the planets of Mars, Mercury, Io, and oh my god, Titan are all going away. And any of the strikes, missions, and exotics and quests that go along with the planets are also going away. So for anyone who doesn't have any of those done, they're like, do it now before you can, or else you won't be able to get it until who knows when they come back. So we have been doing a ton of raids.
What's
and
sorry to cut you off. What's the release date of the new stuff that's coming out? Like within like a week, or is it like...
November 12th?
So
Nope, it's in November.
So that's what I was
when
wondering. How does this coincide with the new consoles?
Beyond Light is being advertised, especially for the Series X, as one of the main launch titles, because Microsoft is in talks right now, in talks to buy back Bungie.
Yeah.
So
rumored.
That's
like, it's not official.
Rumored. Even
but if it is official, you heard
like
it first.
If it is official,
Yeah.
I'm the word of I'm the word of the community.
Yeah, Zahi broke it if it's true. But...
Broke it. It happened right here on Link Cable. Don't at me. So yeah.
Hashtag insider.
Hashtag inside knowledge, Destiny community.
Destiny community.
Yeah, Destiny community manager. So yeah, we've been doing a bunch of raids. Actually, we did a time trial on the first Leviathan, the first raid in the Destiny 2, which is Leviathan. And we finished it in 32 minutes and 13 seconds.
That sounds
That-
impressive. I don't know if it's very good, but congrats.
That is very impressive. We
Wow,
didn't
good.
wipe once on any of the encounters. Yeah, sure, you're gonna get your like tryhards, but I'm like with like a semi okay raid team. But then you get your tryhards were like, oh, I do it in like 20 minutes with like max stat mobility. But I'm like, shut the f- up. But for us, like to get it even under 35, to do any of the raids, it's definitely tricky. So it's been a fun week of like just raids and planet hopping. So that's my bit of game news. Because once New Light hits, the new planet that's coming and the new expansion, Europa, it's kind of like a Christmassy ice themed planet that's just really cool looking so far. So I'm just so hyped for Europa itself. I have two things. I love ice planets, and I love desert environments. Those are my absolute two favorite kind of locales in any video game or in most media.
So I'm a big space person, right? Like I love anything astronomy. And so when you're talking about Europa, and I'm thinking of like all like the fun facts I know about Europa, I'm like, yeah, it's a frozen ocean over in Jupiter. Like it's probably the most sci-fi place I can think of is let's go visit a frozen ocean orbiting Jupiter.
Europa, even like in sci-fi, Europa is always, for some crazy reason, a huge sci-fi hotspot of a planet. Like,
yes, it is. It's theoretically possible that there could be life there.
Yeah, under the ice.
Under the ice, right? So it gets the imagination going.
That's exactly why.
Yeah, it's not my personal favorite moon. I feel a bit nerdy saying I have a favorite moon, but I really do. But
I love that Saturn.
Europa is maybe like a second or a third. I rep Enceladus, the moon of Saturn, which is also a frozen.
Ooh, Enceladus is so cool of a planet.
So,
anyway. I'm hyped for that one too.
So this show,
I like Enceladus.
So this episode, we had favorite fast food and our favorite moons of the solar system.
And Enceladus is no joke, man. It is a cool ass moon.
Enceladus, it looks like Hoth, like from space, because it's white and it has these blue cracks where the ice is like kind of thinner or cracking, and I'm like, man, like we gotta go to space. Space is so cool. But
first trip out.
Yeah, send me to Enceladus. Cool. So I guess that's it then for our games of the week. So let's dive into our main topics. And the first one that I wanted to talk about kind of was, I don't know if it came out of nowhere. And Kevin, you're going to be the expert on this one because I think you're the only one who's played Crucible. But Amazon decided that Crucible is no more. They're canceling it. They're stopping development because apparently less than 1,000 people were actually playing the game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to find that. Here it is, May 20th. So May 20th of this year is when this game was released. Wow, it's not even that long ago. Okay, has anybody played Crucible here? Did anyone else play it? I know, Alex, you said you didn't. Zahi, did you?
I'm not.
I haven't played Crucible, but I was following some of the news saying that how much it's trending downwards. But I never expected them to outright just cancel the game.
Yeah, it was. So I played I think it was released completely back then. I don't remember there was a beta or anything. This wasn't even that long ago, and I don't remember. But I downloaded it and played it, whatever it was out for. And it was very empty. There was a tutorial that I played through the whole way, and it's like very much like an Overwatch type of thing with a couple little here or there changes to it. I remember playing as it was like a robot character, I think, and you had to shoot all these like different crates for the training, and then you would get out, and it was supposed to be like an Overwatch type game ish. I'm not even sure that the whole. I always thought it was like a MOBA, but I'm looking it up. It just says team multiplayer, so I guess it was just like exactly like Overwatch. Anyways, I played it for maybe 40 minutes or so, and it was just the load times were really weird for me for some reason. The controls kind of didn't feel really natural, so I didn't really love it, and I just uninstalled it. And I said, okay, I'll wait. What were you gonna say?
You played it when it's still in beta, right? It's technically still in beta.
No,
I don't think it never got a version 1.0.
I thought it got released. That's what I'm trying to look up right now. I can't remember.
No.
I thought it actually came out, and that's what happened. Okay, so here, I'll read this here. It's a free-to-play multiplayer third-person shooter published by Relentless Studios of Amazon. It became available for download on May 20th after being in development since 2014. The game returned to a closed beta in June 30th. On October 9th, 2020, it announced it will be discontinued within a month. So,
yeah,
I think that game released, the game
released,
remote launched.
And then they went back to beta.
Yes, it was released and went backwards. So, yeah.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, and I'm looking at the scores. It shows the reception of the game. Metacritic gave it a 56 out of 100. Game Informer, 6.75. GameStop,
really
5. IGN, 4. Like, it didn't review well with anybody, and I mean, it just wasn't fun. There wasn't a lot going on. It seemed very empty. It just seemed like it's like a team that had never really made a game and they had no idea how to make it fun. It looked okay, and they had a bunch of characters, but there was nothing memorable about them. There seemed to be they were just some type of creation, like some type of person made up, and they had no weight to the actual character. It was just weird. So
that was kind of my whole. Oh, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say, like, that was my whole, like, impression of Crucible was, like, why? Like, we have Overwatch, we have Destiny, we have Apex, we have all these other games. Why do we need this? Like, there's only so much time to play games, and if you're only releasing something that is like something else,
it has to be better.
It has to be better. It has to stand out, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And this is like Amazon's one of their first. It seems like Amazon. The big upper heads of it were like, hey, we're in this, we're in this, we're in this, we're in this. Now we need to get into gaming. Gaming's a huge market. We can make a lot of money here. We've got a lot of resources. How a lot of these people are using
our platform coming too now.
Yeah, and they're using our servers for half the shit anyways. Why don't we make our own? So they were like, okay, let's start doing, what are the big games? They're like, all right, MMOs, go start make that. That's New World. They're working on that. Go make Crucible. Yeah. Let's do that because this team shooter thing is big with Overwatch. Because they started this in 2014, and that's when Overwatch was huge. So, I mean, it just took them too damn long to actually get this game out there to even stand a chance. And when it finally made it here, it was not good. Like, I can't believe
how do you compete? How do you compete with the Overwatches and the Destinies of the world, you know,
well,
and the Valorants of the world?
Exactly.
You need a hook. You need a hook, and it's sci-fi. I don't want to say realistic.
Mumbo jumbo.
But like, I look at a game like Spellbreak that Jacob recently reviewed for the website, and that game, like, you've got the magic, you got the fantasy. It's its own hook to it, right? But like sci-fi, advanced technology, guns, like there are a dime a dozen, and Crucible just felt like it was just one of them, and it came out late. Like it had nothing going for it.
Yeah.
In the same vein, we have other games that were recently canceled for that same reason. Oh God, but the names are escaping me right now. They got canceled for the same reason. I have to look this up. Hold on.
Yeah, it was just bizarre because they took it out of they took it back, but they brought it back to beta is what I think it was that I think I just read too. And then a couple days ago they just said, yeah, it's just not working out. Like I don't know what happened. They just said, hey, this isn't working. It's just cheaper for us to just call it quits, which is sad because those type of games are fun, and I bet it would have a following, but they just needed to do something to it. I just feel like their marketing was not great. The gameplay of the game was weird. They didn't really. It just felt odd, and I believe it was on Steam too.
Really,
so they
it's
at
really
least
strange
put
to me
in the right
that
spot.
Amazon would.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's really strange to me that Amazon would announce. No, it's all good. Would announce Luna, their streaming service, which is coming soon or I think in early next year, or it's in beta right now. I haven't really been following the Luna news, but they have these first party games, and they just canceled one of their bigger ones when I would have almost expected like, hey, we're retooling it for Luna. Like it's gonna go away, but we're retooling it for our own service because like the biggest problem with Stadia is that Stadia has no games to call its own.
Studio.
Amazon has Studio. I hate those commercials.
Love those commercials.
They remind me. They remind me of the old Sega, like Sega. But anyway, so you have this game that you could market as like, hey, like it was in beta, you've all played it, now it's coming to Luna as like this big thing, and it's just kind of like, no, we're not even bothering with it. So it's I don't know, you don't really hear about cancellations anymore because they tend to be kept under wraps, and this one just seemed to be like very public, which is odd.
One of the titles I was thinking of actually was Battleborn. Battleborn was recently canceled pretty much for the same reasons, no?
What's Battleborn?
I have not heard. That is a name I have not heard.
Oh, yeah.
Really long
time. I know what this is. You know, I was so excited. I remember watching the preview for this
Talked about
game.
it recently.
I remember watching the preview for it when they were announcing it, and it looked so cool. And then I played it, and I was like, huh.
It was you, Kevin. You're the one that brought that topic up. You were talking about Battleborn a few podcasts ago, and that it was canceled, and for those same reasons. But it's not just Battleborn I'm thinking of. There are more, and a lot of them are getting canceled because they don't have that appeal, or they're just
it's exactly
generic.
It's exactly generic's the best way to put it. But Alex is right. There's only so many games you can play, and these are not just games that I'll get to it. This is a game we want you to keep playing and playing and playing, and this is supposed to be like a percentage of your day. So like you can't have so many games that are games as a subscription type of thing because there's only so many parts of your day you can give up to a game. I mean, okay, let's say you might be playing WoW already. There's your WoW. You do your dailies here. Oh, maybe you're an Animal Crossing person now, so you got to go and take care of your weeds and take care of all that shit.
That's neat.
Oh, and you're also you play
Guild
Hearthstone,
Wars.
so you got to keep up with that game, and you're also playing I don't know, some other free to play game or something. So you have all these things that are these like games of you play Warzone, and you got to make sure you get that up. Like you can only pick so many, and if there's a oversaturated market of games that require you to play every day or so, some of them are going to have to fall apart. And yeah, Battleborn, like that's so sad. That game was kind of fun. There's just so many of them, and it's just hard because you have to have people playing it or it's not good.
Yeah, and I think for us, like for gamers, it's not too like for us we have the I said it would all be in English. I can only think of the expression in French, but we have like an embarrassment of riches, where we have too many games coming out, and for us, it's like you can play whatever, like it's all there for you. But like developers are putting time into these games, and they're getting these games out, and then no one plays them. You kind of like there's quality work that's being lost to just lack of time, and that's why it's like I know it's hard to be like, well, just be more creative.
Yeah,
it's not that's not the easiest thing to say to someone. But it's too bad that there's a lot of these games that are just disappearing. And like with live service games, like if you look like live service games, they can take them away from you. The Crucible, we will not be able to play after a certain date. But it's not like it's out there and you could play it when you finally have time, like an old like game on a cartridge or whatever. And so that's kind of like the sad thing is like it's gone forever. And I feel for it. I feel for the game, and I feel for the people who made it. But at the end of the day, like you gotta stand out. Like that's what it is. And Crucible never stood out.
I agree. So. That was the biggest problem. But I mean, it's sad, but at the same time, it's like, well, it doesn't really affect any of us because no one of us played it anyways. So it's not like.
Well, yeah.
It's just sad because I feel like it could have been something good, but not.
So according to the Crucible team themselves, this is what kind of they have to say about it. So we very much appreciate the way our fans have rallied around our efforts, and we've loved seeing your responses to the changes we've made over the last few months. But ultimately, we didn't see a healthy, sustainable future ahead for Crucible.
AKA, we're not going to make any money from
So
this.
I mean,
yeah,
pretty much. So I mean, you know, if they're even their projections of their own IP is not positive, like what does that say for games of this caliber in the industry? You know, like if you're just know you're gonna have a bombshell before you even launch it.
This just says even though you have a
No?
lot of money doesn't mean you can make a good game.
Yeah. Well, look at the last two big hits. The last two games that people just wouldn't shut up about are
Among
indie
Us.
games. It was Fall Guys and Among Us. Like those are unique creative ideas.
And didn't cost
And I mean, like, it's hard
that
to come
much.
up with a unique creative idea. Like, I'm not saying like you could just pick one out of the air, but they stood out and they were different and they were unique and they took the world by storm for that reason. And Overwatch at one point was unique and it took the world by storm. And then the copycats come in and they flood the market, right? And that's where Crucible ended up. It might have been a fine game, but according to the reviews, it wasn't. So
No.
But it's hard to stand out, right? And sometimes you gotta be out there, unless you're tied to a big franchise or a big name that people recognize as being of high quality. Then you gotta move your butt. Even Anthem would fall into that. Like, no one cares for Anthem.
And
So
Anthem fell from such graces. And if a game from BioWare can take a hit like that, man, I feel bad for some of the
smaller guys.
the newer IPs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't associate the name BioWare with high quality anymore. They need to turn it around.
Well, from everything I've heard about all that stuff and every article that comes out is just the people at BioWare are frustrated because EA has so many things they want them to do because they're like, well, we want you to try to make money. We want you to try to do this. We want you to try to do this. And that's what they kept trying to do. And it took them away from trying to make a fun game and trying to make a profitable game.
Yeah. And there's also, like, I mean, we look at BioWare, we say, like, the name BioWare, but, like, the people who made the games we remember more fondly, they're long gone. They're doing they don't work at BioWare anymore.
Right.
There's not a lot of people who worked on Mass Effect 2 or on Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
That is
like, they've
so
moved on,
sad.
Right? So
it's the same thing with, like,
like,
Rare. It's like everyone's like, oh,
BioWare means
nothing. It's just a name. It's gone. But like I was saying, like with Rare, people are like,
Yeah.
oh, all these good Rare games, where they at? Well, those people aren't there anymore. It's just the name they bought. It doesn't mean nothing. It's nothing. It's sad. It's sad.
I always looked at, like, Perfect Dark Zero was a game made by Rare. It was a first-person shooter made by Rare, and it sucked. And then Time Splitters was made by Free Radical Design, which was where all the Rare people who made Perfect Dark, the first one, and GoldenEye went to, and that was a really good game. So it's just follow the developers. They're still making good games. Just follow them.
My one last hope, at least for BioWare, I know we got off the Crucible topic for a
Completely.
second. Is that I'm really praying for Dragon Age 4. That's my, like my Halo I'm excited for, my Beyond Light with Destiny I'm good, but I really want Dragon Age 4 to be the rockin' success story it should be. I hope so.
Yeah, I sure hope so
The
too.
one thing that gives me hope for that one is that it's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Respawn?
Respawn, right. It released, and it was a single-player game with no DLC and no microtransactions, and it sold well. And I'm hoping EA sees that and is like, hey, there's a market for single-player games. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and they did that right, so hopefully they learn.
And it's an EA-published game. You boot that thing up, and it says EA Games on it, and it's like...
Crazy, right?
I don't believe how good this is for that. Yeah. So there's hope there. And, like, even Star Wars Squadrons, which I don't think any of us have played, but, like, apparently is excellent. Is a very, very good game. So...
and it's a short game, and they reduced the price for it to match that. Interestingly, right?
I almost feel like EA is like they're gonna pull off the mask and be like, it was someone else.
It was somebody else. We got you.
We got you.
EA seems suspect. EA seems sus.
Funny.
Yeah, EA sus. Cool. So next topic of the day. So Sony finally showed us the PlayStation 5 user interface. So they had it was like 10 minutes. They did a state of play, which they didn't announce it, and they didn't really call it a state of play. I think they did that to like kind of keep expectations low. But they showed off the PlayStation 5 UI and how their not only the menu would work, but how their like kind of game assistant features would work. So they showed off how you can find help in games, how you can just jump in. It looks very, very quick, which is thanks SSD, appreciate it. But did you guys get a chance to check this out? What did you guys think of the PS5 user interface? And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to get excited about a user interface. It's not the most exciting topic, but it's what we got.
Yeah.
So.
My opinion, this is a non-story. This is something stupid, and I don't care.
Well, you should have said something when we were sitting.
Actually, I did.
So
You did, I know.
I'm pretty sure I said F this because this is stupid. But it is news, so it does belong to be here. I just, this is just proof that they will try to make a story of everything. And I know everyone's excited for new consoles, but even if it was a bad interface, it's not going to take me away from playing PS5. I'm not going to go, well, I'm not going to play that because the interface sucks.
I'll tell you something, and I disagree wholeheartedly. The
Really?
UI on PS4 compared to the UI on the Xbox One X, after playing more of the Xbox One X, is absolute trash.
Wait, which one's trash?
Go back to my
which one's trash?
PS4.
Okay.
Yeah,
I go back to my PS4.
Well, okay, I agree
Yeah.
it's trash, but I'm still gonna. The only place I can play my Sony exclusives, I'm not gonna just skip them out because I don't like clicking through a menu. Like that's my point. I mean, I do think it's trash. I agree with you there, but it's not gonna deter me from my purchase I've already pre-ordered.
No, and I'm not saying that, but I'm saying navigating that UI system on the PS4 after really, really delving into the Xbox One X and enjoying the product a little bit more, and after all and they just updated the Xbox One X's UI like 2 days ago, and it's made it somehow even better for me. I don't get it. The PS4 has been the exact same obtrusive way it's been since the console launched. There's no customizability. The hotkeys are all garbage. I can't. So annoying. Slow. It is so slow to navigate anything. And like when I compare it to the Xbox One X, it's 2 button clicks away, and I'm literally anywhere I want. You know,
Yeah.
and I do a lot of recordings for whenever I do crazy streams like the 30-minute raid, and to do that on a PS4 is ungodly annoying. My Xbox, it records it like literally on the spot that I want it, no hassle, no fuss. PS4 it's such an obtuse, aggravating UI system, and to finally see something a little bit better than that actually has me excited to turn the thing on.
I think one of the things they showed in the state of play that had me the most excited, and it was such a small thing, was that.
Back to us, Alex. Alex, we need you.
Alex is frozen.
Alex is so frozen.
Well, I guess we can go back to talking about Arby's because that's what I want.
Can we talk about Arby's?
He's back. He's back.
You
were frozen. I don't know if you knew that.
No, well, I heard
30 seconds.
You guys didn't skip a beat for me. I heard you guys perfectly, and I was like, I don't.
You were like this.
Oh, good, great. My sexiest pose. So.
Timestamp this one, baby.
No, I was saying like one of my favorite things about the PS5 user interface is that the store is not its own app anymore. It's baked into the UI. So you just like they showed in the video, they're like, hey, like you click I think left one time and boom, you're in the store and you can buy things right from there. You don't have to like go into a different app to get into the PS5 store. And I thought that was really cool. Because the PS4 store is a train wreck. It is unbearably slow for 2020. I can't believe it.
There's like two two stores, sort of. There's the PlayStation Plus one. They have it separated from the regular store. And if you want to get to the PlayStation Plus one from the regular store, you have to click like 3 buttons. I'll be on. It's shit.
Yeah, it is shit.
Like, I don't know how else to say it, but it's the most garbage UI. Man, the 360 and the PS3 had a better UI than the PS4.
You know what store I liked? And like this is so weird because it's like this is not the kind of
Wii U
thing-
store.
The Wii U store, no, Wii U store is awful.
I was gonna say that thing's
This
terrible.
is but I like the Wii store. I thought because it was just so basic. It was like you point at a thing and you bought it. Basically.
I just like the song that played.
Oh,
in
I'm
it.
sorry. I meant the Wii store, Alex. I didn't mean the
Oh.
Wii U store.
But I mean, like this is such a topic that like this topic never comes up
Mhm.
unless it's the launch of a new generation. Like this
True.
is not something we're going to be talking about in a couple years when the PS5 and the Series XS are readily available and we know what they are.
Nope.
This is a boring, dull topic. We all should have listened to Kevin and cut it out of the show. So, what do you guys think? I guess we can end this section on this question. Is there anything like that they show that you are going to be actively using? Like they showed the picture-in-picture where you can watch your friend play their game while you're playing your own game. They have the help assistance where you can just click a button and boom, all the developer recommended help guides are there and reviews and things like that. And then there was one more thing, which was missions. So certain games, they showed Sackboy: A Big Adventure has missions where you can say like you can jump in to a game that you've already played and to jump into certain points of it. So it's like, hey, you forgot an objective in that level 10 levels ago. You can jump into right where you're at that objective. What do you guys think of that? And does that sound like something you guys would use?
So the thing I really enjoyed from the PlayStation 5's UI, I liked personally they had an option to the I guess it's like when you can see multiple things you have opened all at once, kind of like
Okay. Yeah.
when you click it on your laptop and you can see like all the screens at different areas. I really liked that out of the PS5's UI. However, I did get a chance to also see the Series X's UI, and I gotta say, it's personally looked smoother to me. I know we're talking about the PS5s predominantly, but when I look at the two, not saying that the series, I'm not saying that the PS5s is not good because it actually looks quite streamlined right now, but I feel like there's still a lot of like, how should I say, buttons and knobs and things are not kind of like, it feels like it's jointed.
I don't look at the PS5 UI and immediately know what I'm looking at, and that's a problem.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. I don't really know what I'm seeing exactly. It just seems a little convoluted, for lack of a better way of
There's it can do a lot.
Yeah,
and that's
great.
Like, it's almost too much. It's like you need to organize this in a nicer way.
Yeah, exactly, Alex. It doesn't feel organized efficiently. It feels like everything's like bam, all there all at once to be like, oh, it's all on the screen. Look what we got. But it doesn't feel like it's
what's
set
an efficient
up.
UI? You know what's in a very efficient UI? You got your games and you got your store and maybe some pictures. That's it.
And maybe some pictures.
Yeah. I mean, this thing still doesn't have Netflix, so I mean, let's be real. But it'll never get Netflix.
Yeah, I still think that after seeing both UIs, not to like the full extent of them, I'm still more in favor right now of the Series X's. It looked cleaner, it looked simpler to navigate. They showed a feature of the Series X where it was 3 button clicks to anything you want, which I found was a really good feature. That's funny enough, most of Microsoft's products are a 3-click feature to anything, and that's good. Website design, it's good. Game design, you don't. That way, you're not going into too many systems. But the PS5, man, it just felt way complicated, more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah, it's a lot of options. Kevin, what about you? Is there anything that you'd want? Like, are you going to use any of these features?
Have
There's
you-
a lot, but
Have you seen the Xbox's UI at least so far?
Yeah, and they
I have.
like the new Xbox, like for Xbox
Mhm.
Series X and S.
Yes.
So they just did an update on the Xbox One, I think a week
Did, like-
ago.
Yeah, like a couple of days.
And I haven't seen
Yeah.
what officially is going to be on the new consoles, but I'm assuming it's going to be something similar to what they just updated this one to, because I know they like the cohesiveness. And I actually really like the new layout. It works really well. They kind of spaced it out. The one complaint I have about it all is I can never find the games with gold part where I try to get my free games every month. So they should make that more upfront, but they might purposely they might be hiding it because they don't want you to get them right away. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
actually, that is something I've noticed. I've had to like dig for games for gold, but Games Pass is right there, and it's so out of the open. Isn't that funny? No.
It's the grocery store model. They put all the good stuff that people buy a lot of, like eggs and milk and
Right.
everything, at the very back of the store, so you have to walk through the rest of the store to buy. And you're like, oh yeah, cookies, I could use these. So, it's the grocery
Yeah.
store model.
I don't
Works
know.
every time. No one changes it.
It's I've always thought that their UI was better. I think that we'll see. PS4 hopefully modifies theirs, or PS5. Jesus, there's so many systems. PS5 will hopefully modify theirs if there's issues with it. My PS4 Pro downstairs in my basement that I use, the layout is so messed up. When I go to certain menus, if I try to select it, so like when you're selecting stuff, it like highlights it with like a white border, I think, of like windows of what you're going on. So if I click on like friends list and it opens up the friends and I go left or right, it makes the outline of it just somewhere else. So if here's the button, here's the outline. It's just like they don't line up. So I have to just keep moving it, and I have to know how many left and right I have to go, and I have no idea why it's like this.
That sounds like it's broken.
Yeah, and I don't know what to do.
There is one. That's weird.
It's
There is
super
one
weird.
feature of the PlayStation 4's UI and experience that I enjoy, however, greatly more than the Xbox's,
Mhm.
and that is themes for your
Hmm.
backgrounds. PlayStation has always had incredibly good themed backgrounds and changing of the button layouts to match whatever the theme is. For example, I had a Final Fantasy 7 remake one for a while, had a Dark Souls one for a while, I love how, I hopefully hope it continues forward, how the buttons changed like contextually how they look, their art style, how some of the menu sounds change, something Xbox does not do, at least not to the extent I've seen the themes and the.
I don't think.
Oh,
Does Xbox have?
I
themes?
don't believe
think
so. I think all you can change on the UI for the Xbox is just your background. And then not,
You can change the color.
Yeah.
I know you can change
The
the
scheme
color
of it,
buttons, 'cause
yeah.
mine are blue.
yeah, but you can't do anything like, which is strange because it runs off of like it's a computer. So why are you not able to change these features? Which I know I guess is locked into the console itself, but PS4 does it. And I really hope that.
I know that the Xbox's interface though is it gets a little bit too crazy, and they had to like reduce some of the graphics. It was slowing the system down so much, and I know it has to be consistent across the original Xbox One, Xbox S, the Xbox Series One, all the different versions they've had of it. And I know that my original Xbox One was basically unusable because of the update that they had done. I mean, they had all this stuff going on in the background. Then the latest update before this one, it seemed like they stripped it of features to try to make it less resource heavy in the menus, because everything was running so slow, and it is working better now. But I'm wondering if it's something like that was holding them back, being able to add so many more features, because it's like It looked like they had a lot of ideas, and then they're like, oh wait, our hardware's really old, and we have to support everybody, which kind of threw me off. I don't know.
So
I
in
hate talking about UIs. This is so stupid. I'm just like, this is such a.
I love it.
I
love
like it, but it's just like I hate that
So
people freak out about this stuff online. It's like there's so many people talking about it. It's crazy.
Do you know what system had a great customization feature? And it was like
the
it's
PC.
underrated. 3DS. Oh yes. So
Really?
here's my
Yeah,
Team
it actually
Rocket
did.
theme that actually plays music. That's like the Team Rocket
Oh, that's
music.
kind of cool.
I friggin' love the 3DS.
I wish the
themes.
3DS wasn't dying.
I
That's like
bought so many of these.
that's so sad that it's going away. I feel like they just started to perfect that thing. The battery life's so good. Yeah, I have a bunch too. You have a lot more cooler ones. It's just such a sad thing. It's like, why do we got to get rid of that? Can we just make like, can I have a Switch that
That's
just
what the
looks like a
Switch was there
3DS?
for.
Yeah, the dual screen stuff was just so innovative and it worked well.
Yes. Like, and there are games like Mario Maker. I hate playing Mario Maker on Switch. I want to play Mario Maker with 2 screens.
Yeah.
It is built for 2 screens.
Yeah.
Anyway, we said we weren't going to talk about Zelda. We're getting very close to talking about Zelda. So let's. I guess.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to highlight what Kevin said in that the Xbox was slowing down across generations and platforms. So one of the main reasons, so I stopped using themes for that reason. I found that whenever I had a highly intensive theme or dynamic on the background, it brought everything to an absolute train screeching halt. It was loading too many things were moving in the background, and it was processing it all. I could feel the PlayStation 4 was trying to tell me something, and it was saying, please stop this. I'm dying right now. So I had to change that. Hopefully the PS5 will not cry out in pain whenever I decide to change the theme.
I think the SSD is
A
going
godsend.
to be a big help for all that. My quick thoughts on this is, especially like all that. I want to talk a bit about the help features that they have. So like they have like, oh, like, hey, you missed objectives in this level. You should probably go back and here's where they are. I hate that. I hate that so much. I know they're optional, and I'm not going to be like, as a someone who reviews video games, I'm not going to hold it against that because it's an interesting feature, but I will never use it. I want to play the game myself. I don't want the game telling me how to play it. So that's my quick thought. I don't like the help features. I don't.
Really? Why not?
He's better than
I want to play the game myself. I don't want the game being like, hey, you missed this one collectible. It's hidden right here. I can take you to it so you can pick it up. Is what they showed for Sackboy, and I was like, that's dumb. I want to find it myself. I don't want you to tell me where it is. So I mean, if for some people, and like I get that some people want that, that's great. I hope you enjoy it. I will never use it. I don't.
Okay, how
I'm
about
trying
this?
to say. I'm trying
How
to
about
word it
this?
so I don't sound like some like snob, because I don't want. Like, it's not what I'm trying to say. Is I'm trying to say like, I don't like how all this hand holding is built into the console itself. I wish it was more hard to get to. Let's put it that way.
How about this then, Alex? For people who are not our caliber of gamers, let's just say the older generation or
That's
young
fogies.
people. Yeah, the fogies of the crowd. Would this assistive technology is it a boon for them essentially? Was it something they can kind of enjoy?
So, here's where I think this is the PlayStation 5's Connect, where they will push it and try to sell you on it early on, and then in a few years they'll never talk about it again. I think it's like HD Rumble. It's the gimmick. I don't. Think
You just think it's going to be a gimmick rather than like a staple.
I
think this
gimmick
is
the right word for a lot of this stuff.
Kevin doesn't want to talk about UIs anymore.
I don't. I have nothing. I don't know why I'm so salty about it, but it's just like I saw these articles and I'm like, this is trash. This is so stupid. Why are we complaining
You
about
put
it?
the cartridge in and you press power and Mario's jumping.
There's so many people, but there's so many people online that are literally so upset about this. They just get so salty.
There's nothing else to talk about.
I know. I'm
That's
like,
all it
why?
is.
Why are they get so angry? I was like, it's a UI. I don't know.
Be mad.
There was a lot of stuff about it too because it was like
Hockey fans will know that.
the Burger King got like involved. Did you see the whole Burger King thing with the like
just fucking fast food? Just
burger?
come
Yeah,
back to it.
wow, it really is. The Burger King
perfect
himself
timing.
helped introduce this system, and I don't know why
The
that.
Whopper is the quality burger.
Why Burger King is wait, what did you say?
So the Whopper is a quality burger.
Boy, no, it ain't. That ain't no real burger. That's a. They take that and they put it in the oven or
Whopper?
whatever, and then they just smash the shit and then they give it to you. They whop it first, and then you get it. I hate
To
Whoppers.
whop it first. To whop to be whopped.
I hate Whoppers so much. Trash food.
As much as you hate UIs, you hate the Whopper.
I just know a good
We're
burger.
bringing up all of Kevin's like sensitive topics today on the podcast. I think we need to put some more pro Kevin
I think
topics
Wendy's
up
are
there.
I think a Wendy's burger is better than a Whopper. Just gonna say that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
I said it was a quality burger. I didn't say it was superior.
Oh,
said it
I
was
thought you
a-
were saying like that was top end. I was like, I mean, it's not
No,
terrible. I'm being a little bit dramatic, but
Is it better than a Big Mac? I would say so.
okay, now that's wrong. That's just wrong. It's something about Big Mac. They make that with love.
A
Everybody.
Big
It's the
Mac.
sauce. Oh, the sauce on a Big Mac is pretty good.
Yeah, the sauce is what I think gets me. I just hate Burger King. I've never had a good experience at Burger King.
Actually, the last time I was in your neck of the woods, in Ann Arbor, the only restaurant close to my hotel was a Burger King, so I had Burger King. Like
No,
2 days
there's so
straight
many
because
good
there was
restaurants
nothing
there.
else around.
There's so many good
Um,
restaurants there, and you went to Burger King. Oh, it crushes me.
Well, it was so funny because like as a Canadian, I'm used to paying Canadian prices for things. So like I go to like you get a combo at a fast food place here. It's like
Yeah.
10, $12, and I go there and it's like friggin' like $2 for like
It's
a
beautiful.
burger, fries, and a drink. I was like, I can give you more. I have more money to give you.
I love you, American fast food system.
Yeah, if you can get some fast food
Thanks.
cheap,
Appreciate it.
that's why we're all fat. The land of the heavy.
The land of the heavy and free.
We're free, but we ain't going anywhere. At least not quickly.
At least not quickly. Oh god. But
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Are we moving on then to the
Please.
the UI? All right. So
save the poor boy from this misery. he's
Save
all
me.
right. So
going through.
last thing. So Microsoft officially said, here are our Xbox Series X/S launch games.
Woo.
So I'll go through the list and
Please.
we can talk about what stands out as, hey, that's really cool, or hey, well, that's kind of lame. So this is thanks to our good friends at Polygon who put this together. So we got Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Borderlands 3, Bright Memory 1.0, Cuisine Royale, Dead by Daylight, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Dirt 5,
Nice.
Enlisted, I don't know what that is, Evergate, I also don't know what that is, The Falconeer, Fortnite, I know what that is, Forza Horizon 4, which is a really good game, Gears 5, Gears Tactics, Grounded, King Oddball, I don't know what that is, Man-Eater, Manifold Garden, NBA 2K21, Observer System Redux, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Planet Coaster, Sea of Thieves, Tetris Effect, The Tourist, War Thunder, Warhammer, Watch Dogs Legion, WRC 9 FIA World Rally Championship, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and yes, Your Grace. So that is the Xbox Series XS launch games.
When did previous gen titles become launch titles?
That's always been the case.
Is it always they did this before? Maybe I'm just stupid, but it seems like
I
this
bought
is
a Wii U day one, and there wasn't a lot of new games to play on it.
Yeah.
It just seems so
yeah,
weird
so-
that these are all games you can already play. I mean, it's good. I'm not complaining because it makes me feel good because they're all playable. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good sign, but
and-
it's still less exciting, I guess.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head too. Like, none of these are new.
Yeah.
Not one, not a single. Unless, like, okay, Assassin's Creed Valhalla isn't out yet.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs Legion isn't out yet. Like, okay, those are new
those
games.
two,
To be
really.
fair.
But they will be out already
They're not,
when this thing releases.
but they're not console exclusives. They're not locked
Right.
to the, or no, they're not next generation exclusives, is what I meant.
Right. Yeah.
The only game on this entire list that isn't out yet and is an Xbox exclusive, and I say it that way because it's coming to Xbox One, Series XS, and PC. So it is kind of Xbox. Is the Falconeer? It's the only one.
Oh, really? What is
yeah.
the Falconeer, Alex?
It
Is
is
it
a
a
game about
game-
being a falcon. It is a simulation game where you fly around as a falcon. It is very artsy.
Who says Xbox does not have good exclusives? Who
Yeah.
doesn't
Right.
want to be a Falcon?
One thing to note on these is a lot of these are smart delivery, which means if you had them last gen, you get them this gen, which is good for me because I
Yeah.
have Gears 5, I have Sea of Thieves. So, hey, I got games on my Xbox Series X day one. X is the one. The Gears Tactics is probably the biggest new console release because it already came out on PC, but it hasn't come out on console yet. So this is its console release. It's also coming to Xbox One. So that's the Xbox launch lineup. That's what they got. What do you guys think?
Alex, I have one question though.
Sure.
Destiny 2 Beyond Light. Sorry to bring it back to the Destiny topic, but it is launching on the Xbox Series X. Why is it not included in that list, for example?
Because it is coming to Xbox. I actually looked into this earlier because there's a few games that aren't on this list. It is coming out a few days later. So this is day one, what you can get. It is coming out I think Destiny is coming out on the PS5 launch day, which is a couple days later. So like the list is
Oh.
actually a little bit longer, but I think this is a good enough collection of everything that's coming out here.
Oh, thank you. I was like confused. I was like, I want to play my Destiny.
Yeah, no, you'll play Destiny. I think Destiny is the 12th.
12th. Yes, it is.
Which is the PS5's launch day. So like on PS5 day, a couple days, like Borderlands 3 would be added here. You would have a few more games coming too. So like Madden is one. So there's a few more, but
Are they also including Games Pass games as part of day
Yes.
one launch?
yeah. So like Sea of Thieves is on Game
Okay.
Pass. Tetris Effect Connected, which is I take it back what I said earlier. That is an Xbox. It's the Xbox exclusive version of Tetris Connect, which is an older game, but it's a very good game. So that's that. So Zahi, I think you and I have pre-ordered Xboxes, right? All right, and you have not, right, Kevin?
Nope, I got one.
Oh, you got. All right, so we've all pre-ordered Xboxes. Look at this.
Yep. Can't complain about it because I'm buying one.
Yeah. What? Are you getting any of these games?
Nope. I mean, the Game Pass stuff I'll have, so I guess that kind of counts. But otherwise, I mean, this is not exciting. It's exciting to know all my old stuff's gonna be working, and there's some stuff coming with Game Pass, so that's always good. But
Yep.
nothing here
Yeah.
that's really making me jump in my seat, going, "Yay! Can't
This
wait."
This is really strange to be like. I've got the system pre-ordered. I'm going to get it day one. I'm not buying any of these games. Like I have a couple. Like I have Gears 5. I have Sea of Thieves. So I'll play those because I have them. But like, I'm not buying any new game for it.
Yeah,
Mm.
these I'm looking at the list right now too, and it's just there's nothing that. Nope.
Which is
What is enlisted?
But, like,
Is that the one where you're like tied to somebody? Oh no, this is not. Enlisted is an MMO squad-based shooter.
fun.
King,
What about you, Zahi? Are you
Grounded.
picking up any of these games day one?
Pass.
Come back.
I'm trying to think of any that seem worthwhile.
I'll save you the
I
trouble. I
would
looked at the
probably
list. They all
most-
look not exciting.
I think
I'm
the
not-
only thing.
Oh no, you go ahead. I asked you.
I think the only thing I would be interested in, most likely would be Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah. See, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, if there's any of these I buy day one, it's gonna be Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's either
Like,
Assassin's
the
or
one I'm like, yeah.
yeah,
Or
it's
Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is up there too.
I'm okay on the hype train for Valhalla. Really, sort of, kind of. But I'm liking the more I see for Watch Dogs Legion. Honestly, so it's really my main selling point right now. I think it would be the only one I would really consider maybe purchasing. But aside from that, not the greatest lineup.
No, it is really missing Halo Infinite. It is really, really missing Halo Infinite. I'm actually, you know what is actually really surprising that's not a launch game is the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, that is surprising.
Like, hey,
Why don't they have that?
You're not giving us Halo Infinite. Give us the old games. Like, put the Master Chief Collection on.
But isn't the Master Chief Collection already on Games Pass? So
right, but it's not optimized for Series X. It's just like playing an old game on it because it is backwards compatible. But like Gears 5 and Sea of Thieves are optimized for the Series S.
So, but think of it this way: the Master Chief Collection is 6 games. So to optimize, maybe there's a processing power involved in optimizing 1, 2, 3, Reach, ODST, and 4, and even Halo 5 Guardians. That's 7 titles.
But they could have done like they're doing on PC and releasing them one at a time, because that's what they're doing on PC, right?
Correct.
Like they didn't just put the entire thing on. They put like they're doing 1, 2, 3.
They're on Reach right now. After that, it's gonna be Halo 4, and then Halo 3 is already there.
Okay.
Then it's gonna be Halo 4 Halo 4 and Halo 5 Guardians.
Nice.
Yeah.
It seems weird. Like it seems weird to me that there's no Halo representation at all at launch. Like they could have even 5, which was an Xbox One game. They could have. I don't know. It feels like if you knew Halo Infinite wasn't going to be there, you replace it with a little something. Like you give us something to make that up. And it's really sad because I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures of like the boxes that are going to retail, like the actual box for the Series XS.
It has it on
the
it.
back of it is all Halo.
Yeah.
Like it's like this was I think they weren't expecting it to be delayed because it's their entire promotional material. But yeah, like comparing this launch lineup with what we know of the PS5 launch lineup, like Sony's got the exclusives, like they got Miles Morales, they got Sackboy, they got Demon Souls, like they have the exclusives at launch. I don't think they have as many games, but they have more games that you can only play on. Well, that's not true. Sackboy and Miles Morales. Is Miles Morales coming to PS4? I forget.
I don't think.
It is not.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that one is.
It is not.
It is. It is coming to PS4.
It is.
What?
Miles Morales is coming to PS4, and Demon Souls is the PS. Yeah. Demon Souls is a PS5
exclusive.
I'm like double checking.
Wait, is it a smart delivery game?
PS5.
PS5. Yes, PS5. They don't do that.
Or whatever it's called. Because some of their games are going to PS5, right? But I think it's third-party ones, not PS5 games. Oh no, yeah, PS5 upgrade available. It says right on the cover of it. On Amazon, I'm looking at it. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales launch edition, and then right at the bottom it says PS upgrade available. So I wonder if that means it costs money to do or something.
Probably.
There's so many different things. Free. It's so hard to keep track of which company's doing what.
That's true. And like even on the same system, like I know EA games are different than whatever Sony and Microsoft are doing. So it's like everything's different. It sucks. I don't like it. But yeah, like this launch lineup in general, like I'm just looking at like there's nothing that like
it's tantalizing.
No, like it's strange because I feel like I want a Series X, but I don't. There's no games I want for it. So I don't know. It's one of those like. I guess this is going to answer the question: do you need big launch games? Is kind of where this is all going because all the hype and all the anticipation seems to be leaning towards Microsoft as having more momentum right now than Sony, which is very
Very much.
strange because they don't have a big launch game, but the Xbox experience seems to be more interesting to people right now, and I think that has a lot to do with Game Pass and xCloud and them buying up half the industry. It is interesting also that there's no Bethesda games. Oh wait, no, yeah, there's no Bethesda games at launch at all. Like they couldn't even get Skyrim for launch. It's a very strange launch lineup. It doesn't compare to anything that's come before or after. Oh, actually, you know what else is going to be a good game? I just really quick looked at the list. Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Is it
Like,
the turn-based?
Don't sleep on that game. That's the RPG, like the turn-based RPG.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That one does look pretty cool. I don't know anything about Yakuza,
yeah.
but I saw a preview of it and it looked fun.
Yeah, no, don't sleep on Yakuza Like a Dragon. It looks really good.
Like a dragon.
The Tourist is a good game. It's
It's like a little game though. It's not even like a big game.
Yeah, but it's good. It is a good one, at least.
No, yeah, it's true. But I feel like we're just like trying to find something to play now. Now we're like, it's like sad.
I'm not
that's...
canceling my Series X pre-order.
I get your point. I agree. I just wish there was something. I wish
Alex,
Halo was
is
there because that would have been like, oh,
Kevin,
this is what I
seriously.
want.
Is there a PS5 lineup that you guys are enjoying at least that you'd want to get maybe on launch?
If I managed to get a PS5 pre-order, I would definitely consider some of their games, but I didn't. So, I think if I looked at the PS5 lineup, I think Demon's Souls is probably the most interesting game for me.
What is up with you guys lately and the Demon's Soul hype? I'm just out of curiosity. No one before Demon's Souls got the trailer, no one really gave anything about it, and now it seems to be a highlight on the chats, even between us. And I'm like,
there's nothing
even
else
Kevin
coming.
said he's
Okay, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie. It
Even-
looks good, but I know it's a trap and it just looks pretty. And I think this is something I want to play. And then it's gonna be a game that is gonna be making me rip my hair out and scream. So, but Alex, you also said the big part of it is there's nothing else. So it's like, it's the best. It's the best piece of crap. It's the best. It's like you look in the toilet and you're like, I have to pick one. Well, that's the best turd, and that's what you're gonna go with.
Demon's Soul.
You just flush your toilet, man.
Yeah, but I don't know.
You know what's really going to be funny? And I don't know if it's funny or not, but like a few days after the PS5 and the Series X come out, actually about a week after, you know what comes out, right? Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the game. That's what
something
I want
that's
to play.
not crap.
Yeah. And I don't think Cyberpunk's only getting its next gen upgrade next year. So I'll be playing Cyberpunk probably on the Series X, but I'll be playing the Xbox One version. Or I'll get it for PC. I haven't decided yet. But yeah, like the most anticipated game of the fall for me is not even a game that's coming out on the new console I'm getting. So yeah, like I think it's funny because I think in all this next gen hype, a lot of people are starting to like kind of like forget about Cyberpunk because it's not coming specifically to these systems yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Cyberpunk is like November 19th.
Yes.
So 7 days after the
22nd,
PS5.
19th, something like that.
Yeah, I think it is. I'll double check. Yeah, 19th.
Can that just come out now? I want to play it.
It should have come out in April.
It should have came out previously, like last year. We're supposed to come out, wasn't it? It's like been just delayed.
Yeah. I mean, it went gold, so it's done. Like the game.
It did go
finished.
gold. So did Valhalla actually recently.
Yeah. So actually, Ubisoft is going to have a huge November. Like they got Watch Dogs and Valhalla and Just Dance, which Just Dance is its own thing, but it's not awful. Like Just Dance is one of those games that
makes
sells
some money.
very well.
Yeah, it makes some money, and that's what's the most important thing.
I'm so sad they're not putting this one on the Wii. I would have bought Just Dance 2021 on the Wii just to have it.
They're doing you a
Just
favor
Dance
because
2020.
they knew you were gonna buy it but never play it, so they're just like, you know what, we don't need Alex's money.
We'll save the plastic.
Well, yeah, we're gonna just wait and we'll get something else instead.
Do you guys have anything else about launch lineups you guys want to talk about, or are we about wrapping it up here?
I keep looking at the list and I
have
have nothing
something,
else
but
to
I'm
even
just
say about
blanking.
it because it's lackluster. But that's just how this launch is going to be. And I know Zahi's sad because there's no Halo, so it's
Extremely.
very sad.
They still haven't announced when Infinite is going to be launching, other than 2021.
No.
Correct?
I think if they know it right now, they're not going to talk about it until like at least the new year because they don't want to distract from what's on Series X right now.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't expect any Halo news until next year. Watch them announce it tomorrow, but I wouldn't expect anything on Halo.
I actually have a general question to throw out to the two of you. So, Cyberpunk, because you had brought it up, this is no longer talking about the launch title. So, if anyone has anything else they'd like to add, I just want to get your thoughts on something.
Sure, shoot.
So, Cyberpunk, they said way early in development that they're not going to do crunch time and they're not going to overwork their employees. And recently, they publicly and quite professionally, I found, announced that they are doing a bit of crunch time before the end and that they're doing some OT. But no one from CD Projekt Red outwardly came out and said that they are being forced to work. And it seems as though, at least from CD Projekt Red's side of things, they kind of wanted to. Like, it seems like they're putting in their last yeehaw, trying to get everything finished. Would you say that's, counter to what they said, is that they're not going to have crunch time? But, I'm not personally too critical on it. It's not like Red Dead, where they force their employees to work, or Telltale, where they just force them to work and straight up didn't pay them. It seems like the team at CD, yes, they are doing crunch time, but they're not so heartbroken over it.
Here's my thoughts on it. I think they absolutely went back on their word. I think when they originally said that they were going to be doing crunch, and that's back when the talk of crunch in the industry was really blowing up and everyone was really kind of discussing it. CD Projekt Red said, we are not going to do this. We're going to get the game is going to be finished. Once it's finished, it's going to finish its development naturally. And I think that bought them a lot of goodwill with people at a time where people were really criticizing studios that were forcing crunch on their employees. And now for them to say, oh, you know what, actually there was crunch, I think that is disappointing on CD Projekt Red's part. I think they I think they sweetened the deal. They made themselves seem like the good guy when in reality that situation wasn't even finalized. They were saying things about something that was going to happen in a few years down the road. And the thing with crunch in general is that it's not a, I don't want to say, like, I'm not a video game developer. I don't work for any of these companies. So this is just kind of my impressions and how I see it, is a lot of these companies kind of take it for granted that this is what you do in this industry. You have deadlines to meet. Games come out, and like you look at the games that are coming out this November, there's a lot of really high caliber games that are coming out this November. There's a reason for that, is they sell around the holidays. They sell around Black Friday, they sell on Cyber Monday, because the holiday season is coming up. That's when people buy their games. There's a very big push to get games out at that time. And studios and publishers especially know this, and they will push to have their games out at that point. Whether that's, you can ask your employees to, hey, you want to work overtime? Hey, do you want to do a bit of extra work? There's a difference between asking your employees to work overtime and systematic crunch in an industry where it's just kind of expected. You give up a lot of your personal time for the sake of the project, and there's kind of the peer pressure and pressure from your
bosses,
your managers and your bosses to get there. I think it's very unhealthy. I think it's something that should hopefully be eliminated from the industry. It doesn't seem to be going in that direction, but yeah. So to answer your question, I do think that CD Projekt Red, I think they were I think they were saying something at the time that maybe they wanted to believe, but that was never really going to be true. I think it's kind of I think it was a bit of a fantasy to say that they would never have crunch on a project the size of Cyberpunk, and I think they reaped the benefits of goodwill at the time, and I think that's why you see the backlash that they got today, and people are like, "Well, wait, you said this would never happen," and like it's really funny because like this is the people who aren't being crunched to finish the game are the ones saying, "Hey, you said this would never happen." But I think there's a system in place where publishers can kind of assume it's going to happen. And you said, hey, the developers themselves, they're not really complaining about it. I don't think they have. I mean, I can't speak for them specifically, but are they going to publicly go against their bosses and their publisher and their parent company while this project is still ongoing? I don't think that's a smart move, basically.
To add to that, I mean, I feel like any company that produces something as their service, and as well as provides services at whatever they do, if it's manufacturing or an operations type service, or there's so many industries that are widespread that it's just you have to do this because you cannot.
Yes,
it's just part of the way it is, and it's weird that for some reason that the entertainment industry is getting so focused on when it's not just them doing all this. This is not, and it's not even happening as bad to them as it is for some of these other companies. Like, and I'm not necessarily saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's bizarre because, I mean, my wife's a teacher. She works ridiculous hours. She gets no overtime and she gets paid like crap to begin with. So, I mean, it's a weird thing there. I work at an automotive company. We make vehicles. And I definitely get caught into crunch time very often. I've worked in development and different areas in the company, and that tends to happen. And it's not like we get no overtime. We don't get any extra. This is your job. But it's also a thing I'm expected to do it, and I'm okay with it because it doesn't happen all the time. But is the bottom of a release or towards the end of something finishing, yeah, it's kind of like you have to do it. You do it for the team, and it's just what's best for everybody, and that's what happens. So, on one hand, if they were working like insane hours for a year, 6 months, 4 months, then I could see that kind of being like, okay, this is just obviously not right or great at all. But I mean, if this is okay, the last few months before the end of their product, like I don't see that being an issue, personally, because you got to look at there's paramedics and people who drive ambulances or people that work in retail, and they get paid way less and work way more hours. So. And they do shit that, I used to work at a hotel and I got paid like nothing and worked ridiculous hours and there was no overtime, and it was also a non-desirable job. Whereas working at a company like this, you have a job you probably want to have. It's a little different. I wasn't excited when I started working at the hotel. It was like, oh, I got a job. If I go work at, CD Projekt Red, I'm like, I got a job at CD Projekt Red. So there's always going to be that, but I don't think you can't eliminate that because then you're just going to it's a competitive field. I mean, if you don't be competitive with other competitors, then you lose and then you'll close and you'll have no job. So that's why it's hard. It's hard to find the happy medium. I think it's okay every once in a while, but if it's abused, then there's problems. I think that's the hardest thing about it.
But it doesn't feel like it's abused. With them, at least, it doesn't feel like it's abused.
I think
even though
this is
they said they're
another.
going to try their best not to.
I think this is another non-story. I think this is someone trying to take something little that someone said and they're stretching it apart to get news on it. I think a lot of times that's what it is because, like I said, you can go look at any industry and the amount of people doing crunch time about shit it's just normal. It sucks sometimes, yeah, but. I mean, if people can get enough time between rest and shifts, they get some time to eat and they're taken care of and they're humane, yeah, I'm all for it. But as long as it's within a respectable amount of time and it's, you got to have guidelines for it. But I don't know. That's my take on it. And this is coming from a guy who works in industry, and I've done crunch time many times. And it's like you kind of just have to do what you got to do because you're on a team, you have a project to deliver, and you want it to be good, and at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's annoying, but I'm also proud of the work that I was a developer working with this stuff. I want my work to be good. I want it to get done on time. I want to look good. I want us to look as good as a team. I want to deliver a good product.
Yeah. I will say one thing that I think I think there's a cyclical nature to people, and we kind of touched on this earlier when we talked about BioWare and Rare and how they're not the same people that work there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a cyclical nature where people will work at a company and they'll go through big projects and they get fed up with that corporate lifestyle. They get you talk about EA putting pressure on BioWare. You talk about CD Projekt Red, which has become this very big company. And then the cyclical side of it comes in that those people will leave and start smaller studios. And we saw that maybe like earlier last generation, and then like in recent years, we've seen a lot of developers, big name people, start smaller companies to kind of make games on their own
Terms.
speed and on their own terms. So I think there is a cyclical nature to that. I don't think that. I think it's very rare someone who wants to work at a company forever, and especially the bigger the company is, because all the major companies, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, EA, all of them need games out at a certain time. And you look at the games coming out in November, almost every major publisher is touched on. They all have something, and that's by design. Like, that is when people buy video games. So I think just that alone kind of forces that cyclical nature of restarting. And my hope is that people get there in a way that is good for their own
humane.
Yeah, for their own mental well-being, for their own physical well-being, for the well-being of their families and friends too. Like, if you're living at the office and you're there 18 hours a day and you only go home to shower, that's not a way to live a life,
right?
Especially if you have children or family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so I hope that, my message, I guess, and kind of my sentiment is that if you're going to put in the work, be proud of it, be happy for it, but you come before your job. So
I agree.
That's my
I think there's a line, and as soon as you cross it, that's where it's too much. That line is a little bit of a moving target. I don't think there's a set, okay, this is it, and anything passes is bad. I think it is kind of a scenario based. Like, I think if I worked at this company,
Gray
and they said,
area.
Yeah, it is. And if I worked at CD Projekt Red and they said for the next month, 2 months, we're going to be working extra hours, or we putting in an extra 15, 20 hours, and you're most likely, you may or may not be compensated, I would be like, okay, I get it. This is what it is. And, this is the environment of the work I'm in. That's what, there's people like, I used to work at a data center and I had to watch it 24 hours. So I was on call for 24 hours time for 3 weeks at a time, and I couldn't drink anything alcohol wise because I had to be able to drive at all times. I had to have another extra cell phone on top of my work phone and my personal phone. So, I mean, there's always drawbacks, but my boss always told me, I don't like it. And he's like, if you don't like it, get a different job. And I did, because I didn't like it. So, I mean, that's just the type of job you're in. So, I mean, and I feel like if you work at these companies as a developer, I don't think you're, you have the right set of skills for a lot of jobs. I think you could, if you're at a bad company, leave and show them who's boss, and you will. I feel like that's the type of job you could pretty much get hired for quite a while, because it's a high demand type of skill. Anything to do with development is big money.
Yeah, well, it absolutely is. Like like in my day job, I work for an IT software company, and we have developers, and we do crunch, and so I'm nodding along, and you're saying truths. Like, these are things that happen. So we don't make anything fun like video games, so don't worry about that. But,
Yeah.
one of websites and booking software. That's what we do.
That's great, guys.
Right.
I really appreciate your hot take on my random opinion subject of the
That was a
evening.
good question. I appreciate that.
No, it is, and there's a lot of people that pull it, and I feel like people who don't have any insight to what anything about it is, I think they just go off on it because they hear it and they just think they automatically. Well, most of the articles written about it are just they're pointing fingers saying this is wrong, but I feel like they need to take a step back and see what's actually happening. Are these people actually okay with what's happening, or are they, I just feel like it's just blowing stuff up and people freak out, and it's a good header on an article that people love to click on.
If you want the opinion of someone on crunch, the best person to ask is a video game developer who has lived through it. Like, for this industry, that is, I mean, like, I more than happy to give my opinion on it, but I haven't lived through it. So they're on Twitter. You can ask them questions. I do sometimes. So I think that's about it then for the show. So I think unless anyone has anything else they want to go over, I do something very quick. So I've used you all as guinea pigs, and I wanted to kind of show something off because I think it worked really well. So I am currently reviewing this microphone that is attached to my headset, and so this is my first time using it. And I think it worked well, but if it didn't, let me know in the comments section below if you're listening to the show and like, wow, that mic sucks, because I'm writing a review for it. So I'm going to be listening back and making sure that everything works well. But this is Antlion Audio's Mod Mic Uni. So it's not a plug. It might not be very good. It might be great. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I am using this for test purposes. So hope it sounded okay. So let me know in the comments if it didn't, because I will use that feedback and put it in our official review going up next week. So just wanted to point that out. You're all guinea pigs, and I've used you for my own nefarious purposes.
My favorite kind of pig.
Yeah, it's up there. All right. Well, that does it for us for this week. So make sure, everyone, to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you didn't, you can dislike it too. We will try to improve. But we are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. So just you can find us.
Mixer.
We're holding down the Mixer fort. We actually never.
Oh man.
But yeah. So we'll be back next Sunday at 7. Hopefully with topics that Kevin has more approval on. But yeah, so thanks. This was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for joining LC.
Sounds good, peeps. I'll see you guys later.
And out.
Bye.